So run lads, shoot lads, give us all a go. Run lads, shoot lads, you can do it, yes. Come on Newport County, oh, bang it in the net.
Okay, welcome to Taff's Word, and funny enough, the last one was 3 in a row. Didn't specify what 3 in a row meant, but I think everybody knew at the time because we'd won 3 games in a row in the league. Flip side of that now, we are now in a position where we've lost 3 games in a row in the league. And it's been difficult to pick the bones out of these losses, but I think for a lot of people who have been able to do it, there's been a lot of elements of forgetting the 3 league games prior. For me, it's been a matter of sort of analysing each game rather than seeing them all as a pattern, because if there's a pattern, there's something similar about the games. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this one. I'm not going to completely delve in, but I'm going to sort of break each of those three games down now. I've been doing a thing of breaking games down a lot, this season. And I've been given my analysis of like Morecambe, for example. I mean, we had our bright spells against Morecambe, as much as people say, yeah, we were poor on the day, really, and probably didn't deserve the win. But, that goes in your favour, and it sometimes doesn't. I think we had the first 20 minutes were ours, the last 15 were ours, everything in between. Morecambe piled pressure on our goal and couldn't score. That's their problem, not ours. We took the 3 points, but there were still bright spells. Accrington was a game of 2 halves. Everyone says, oh, they should have been out of sight from the first half. Maybe so, but, we were the better team in the second half and we ultimately won the game. So the thing is, bright spells. Doncaster was a game of 2 halves, went in 1-0 down, came out, rolled them over, 3-1. We've got goodness in our locker, and you cannot forget the previous games. You cannot. Because, fair play, Port Vale, I thought it was not a bad first half from us, really. We went in 2-1 down. They obviously had a very talented but physical and experienced team. And that kind of got the better of us at times, but obviously we got the equaliser. And I thought we were good value for the equaliser, but I thought they were good value to go 2-1 up. Second half was just complete and utter madness. I mean, they scored 2 goals out of nothing. Defensive lapses, keeping concentration, and Brennan and Jameson did what they did. I still feel Brennan was hard done by. Extremely hard done by. When you look at it from the one angle, he's just trying to pull his foot away from the guy. He doesn't physically kick him, but they deemed it as a kick. The guy was a prick, and no one on our side is pointing that out. No one's pointing out the Port Vale. The problem with our fan base is we always go to attack our own, and I don't like it. Now, Jameson, what he did was daft, but you can sort of understand these people are human beings with emotions just like us. They're going to react to certain things. Now, Brennan's a young defender. The guy's grabbed his leg. Get off my fucking leg. He hasn't kicked him. He's pulled his leg away from him, but the motion looks like he's kicked out. The referee give him a red card. He's had a 3-game ban. I personally think we should have appealed it, and I think we may have stood a chance because we would have argued he's pulling his leg away from him. He's not actually kicking him. He doesn't actually do the offence that is adjudged to have been done. But, it is what it is. I mean, a 4-1, we probably weren't getting back in the game anyway, whether we had 11, 10 or 9 men on the pitch. But for me, what the 9 men were able to do was pleasing. As down as we were about the result and the way the game was going, it was pleasing to see how resilient those 9 men could be. Swindon then was a complete and utter write-off. That was just dog shit. That was no defenders. We had one recognised central defender when we're used to playing 3. So it altered our tactical. Completely altered our tactics, completely altered our game plan, and we had unrecognised centre-backs, and Matt Baker can be lightweight at the best of times anyway, but not to say he's bad. But lightweight is to say that if he's up against, you know, a brick shit ace of a striker, he's not winning many of the physical battles, although his ability to defend and his positional awareness is excellent. You know, so the physical side of it he'll build on, but he's got the elements of being a very good centre back. But on his own, so I always say with Matt Baker, he's one of those, like, do you know where you've got, like, at Liverpool, Virgil van Dijk would have Joe Gomez next to him when they won the league. Joe Gomez, that's Matt Baker. We needed a Van Dijk or a Clark or even a Brennan or a Jameson next to him. You know, someone, you know, a more seasoned pro, you know, who's got experience of playing at this level. Unfortunately, he didn't have that. I think that's where Swindon came down, well, what it came down to. I think the midfield battle we lost all the time. Can't really put my finger on it, but you have bad days, you have freak results. Port Vale was a bit of a freak, and Swindon was also a bit of a freak. 2 in a row, but then you start thinking pattern. But the thing for me is we had quite a full strength team to put out against Port Vale. We had far from that to put out against Swindon, obviously with the McLaughlin injury as well. Now that set us back because he's one of our more dangerous attacking players, but he's also very good at defending. Yeah, so the Swindon game, I'll always just write that off as just one of those days. You know, Port Vale was just a freak match. Swindon was just one of those days. Barrow then, on the other hand, was just an outright poor performance. Possibly the wrong... I'd put it on the management with Barrow, not as much the players, or the players didn't do themselves justice at all because they did absolutely nothing in the game. But it's possibly the way we set up was wrong. What we should have been doing is looking to absorb and counter, because we did have Jameson back for that game. Well, obviously, we had Baker, but what we didn't do was absorb the pressure and counter them. We basically just kept giving the ball back, and when we did get forward, we couldn't put a series of passes together. I think the chopping and changing of the lineup is a problem. We need to have a more established 11 where you change the odd player here and there, rather than putting in, you know, a completely different 11 even if every game, which I think Barrow away, a team with the kind of quality that they've got, to play 2 big strikers was possibly a poor choice. So we've tried playing 2 big strikers with 2 wingers. Now the thing is, if we had the full backs in the midfield for that, then yeah, okay, I'd have been okay with it. But we obviously didn't. We had no Wildig, we had no McLaughlin. I think Morris is still a fair bit off the pace. You know, he's got some work to do to get back to his full match sharpness. And then, you know, like I say, we have got injuries as well. We still got players who are waiting to come back, like Clark, like Whitmore, like Spellman, who may figure today against Crewe. It'd be good to finally see him, because he was one of the players that I highlighted in the pre-season. So we'll have to wait and see, guys. I mean, at the end of the day, the people panicking now, oh my God, we're going to get relegated. It's like, first of all, we're still far away from relegation. So until we're in and around that points tally, there's no point panicking about that. We've had some poor games, but we've got 2 home games on the bounce now. And this could shape the way the season goes. This could shape the way the season goes, really. Because I think 4 points from these games puts us in a good position. It puts us on 13 points. It puts us pretty far away from relegation. It puts us into a mid-table position. So we're possibly upper mid-table position. And, you know, it's going to ease a lot of the nerves around the place at the moment, you know, because there are some nerves, there are some feelings of unease at the moment. But, you know, you just got to take each game as it comes. It's a long season. And, you know, obviously after the Cheltenham game, everybody started panicking because you had all this scaremongering going on. The problem is these people have influenced a lot of people's thinking. So when things don't go well, they're going to go straight to what these people have said. And they're just going to think, oh my God, yeah, you know, these people are right. You know, we've got we got no experienced players, we haven't got a proper manager, we, you know, all these problems, you know, we're trying to play football that's not suited for League Two. Like, just stop listening to other people's shit opinions, because that's the thing, a lot of them are shit opinions because they got nothing they could base it off of. You know, stop listening to the shit, right, and start taking it in game by game and start analysing things, right. Stop jumping to conclusions, stop jumping to assumptions, because that's what a lot of people are doing. Oh, this is wrong because of this. Like, well, what qualifies you to tell me that my football club or our football club is dysfunctional because of this? What qualifies you to say that? I mean, you could put the same thing on me now by putting these opinions out. You know, what qualifies me? But the thing is, I've been going to watch football since I can remember. I've been going to watch county for the better part of 15 years, I'd say. I've been going to watch county now. I've been there, non-league, getting into the Football League. I've seen us nearly get relegated a couple of times. I've seen us have seasons that have just been bland, where you just had the odd good day, then the odd bad day. I've seen freak results. I've seen us lose 5-0 away. I've seen us lose stupidly at home. I've seen us lose 5-1, 6-0, all sorts at home. Freak results. You see them from time to time. Teams capitulate from time to time. Confidence goes low from time to time, and that affects performances. These guys know they need a reaction. In front of the home crowd now, they know they need a reaction. The Port Vale game was the last home game in the league, and it was, like I say, a freak match. It's not to say that every match is going to be a freak match where it doesn't go our way. I've seen freak matches that have gone our way. I've seen games where we haven't played well and we've won. I've seen games where we've played extremely well and we've lost convincingly. You know, I can remember losing 3-0 at Northampton, our first away game back in the Football League, and we were all over them all game. And their goalkeeper played an absolute worldie, and they just took 3 of maybe the 4 chances they had in the whole match. And we had probably about 15 chances and didn't take any of them. You know, these things can happen. Granted, yes, the performances have been poor in the last 3 matches. I know, I can't argue that, but I'm not worrying yet. If these next 2 home games, if we don't get at the very least 3 points from these 2 games, then we're talking different then, aren't we? But I'm not going to just go to that and think, oh my God, what if? No, don't think what if. 1 game today, Crew. Another game, Tuesday, Salford. We'll start analysing that Wednesday. Not now. Because if you start analysing it now, you're going to do your head in and you're going to jump to the negative conclusion like every other fucker's doing at the moment. Honestly, just chill out and try and enjoy it. You know, following football is a pastime, it's a hobby, it's something, it's a part of your life. You know, if you've become a proper county supporter like I am, it's become a part of your life, and you've just got to take it as it comes. You can't jump to these conclusions. You can't predict how our season's going to go off of a couple of games. You cannot. Seasons are long. They're long, they're drawn out, and things. It's a roller coaster. It goes up, it goes down. We've had our up, we've had our down. Is there going to be an up, or is it going to carry on going down? Are we going to go even further down? We don't know. Just enjoy it until you come to the point where you have to start worrying about it. So I hope that sinks in. I hope that makes sense to you. But for those of you watching, thanks for the support as always. It's always much appreciated. And for the guy who did the super thanks, thank you. 20 quid in the bank, that certainly helps, you know, with our Amber Army fund. So, you know, that's much appreciated. So thank you for that. And for the rest of you, cheerio for now. And as always, up the county.